Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome again. So we're meeting again on 1st of February, Saturday. So this morning we edit chapter 7, verse 7. So today evening we are going to do verse 8 and 9. All right. So it's going to be very interesting. But before that, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumlitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Saha Gana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vidam Shah Nama Om Vishnu Padai Krishna Prishtai Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauramani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasachari Starine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Shari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Namo sorry Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So anyway, dear devotees, am I audible? Can you hear me? Am I clear?
Yes, Prabhu, you're clear, Prabhu.
Okay. All right. So before we start, let's do our dedication to our 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Nana Sastra Vicharanaika Nipunau Sat Dharma Sangstapakau Lokanam Hita Karinau Tribhuvane Manyau Sharanya Karau Radha Krishna Pada Ravinda Bhajana Nandena Mattalikau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Sri Jiva Gopalakau. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly study all the revealed scripture with the aim of establishing eternal religious principle for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the 3 worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. Okay. So with that meditation, we will start our session today. So let me see, that's the book. Okay. So a quick recap. First of all, okay. So this morning also we did a recap. So never mind. We just we try to recap what we have studied this morning. All right. So in this morning we studied that text 7. So what text 7 says? Okay. Sat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya. Right. It says that the holy name, the characteristic, the pastimes and activities of Krishna are all sweet like a sugar candy. All right. Everything is so sweet. But sometimes, but we are afflicted with the jaundice of avidya. Jaundice means the yellow fever. So we are all suffering the jaundice of avidya, and because of our association with this time immemorial, with this material condition of life, our tongue has become so numb that we cannot taste the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. All right, when we cannot taste the chant of the holy name of the Lord, so we find that holy name, which is supposed to be very sweet, it's very bitter. Okay, but after that, Rupa Goswami will say, but it's okay. Okay, if they're simply carefully chanting the sweet names every day when you're going to do chanting, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. Okay, so whenever we want to destroy things, we have to destroy from the root. So here Rupa Goswami is telling, when we go on chanting without fail, okay, every single day, day in, day out, now we may find it that it's very annoying, very irritating. or maybe you cannot concentrate. That's fair enough. Fair enough. All right. It's very normal. But the thing is, we should not give up. We should not give up chanting no matter what, because chanting is the essence. When we scrutinizingly study the Vedas, at last, like say, like for instance, like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and all the works like Jaiva Dharma, Madhurya Kadambini, Nectar of Devotion. There's a lot of books, right? So when we look at all these books, what is that conclusion? What is that conclusion that we are all coming to? What is that ultimate aim that we all are going through? So the ultimate aim is that we could chant the holy name without any offense. Okay, that means the aim is to chant Hare Krishna. Without chanting the holy name, there's no other way. There's no other religious principle can save you. You know, if you think you want to do Archana, you want to do this temple worship, you want to do all, it all doesn't work. All right, it doesn't work because it's not recommended in Kali Yuga. Maybe you go to certain level. That means you still have to be born again, but still, that means born again at this, maybe the new birth, you'll take up the chanting of the holy name. So chanting of the holy name of the Lord, it is the ultimate way to achieve perfection. Okay, there's no other way. Even during cultivating knowledge, jnana, karma, no, all these things doesn't work. So chanting of the holy name is the ultimate way, and that's the only way. Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Harir Nama iva kevalam. Lord Chaitanya says, right? Kalavanasti eva nasti gadir anyataha. Other than this way, chanting the holy name, chant the holy name, chant the holy name, Harinama, 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 right? Other than this, there's no other way. There's no other way, then there's no other way. All right. Other than this thing, there's no other way that we can achieve perfection. Okay. So that's the only thing. So that's why Lord Chaya, what they call, we are studying systematically how, starting from what you should do. You should control that 6 kind of urges. Then you should you should avoid 6 kind of attitude habits. Then you should have these types of good habits, like 6 types of habit, good deeds, the do's and the don'ts. Then after that we studied about this what they call the pure devotee. We cannot associate with karmi, only we associate with devotees. And after that we studied about who is the devotee. Okay, so we've studied about 3 types of devotee, that is Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama. If you don't understand what I'm saying, okay, those like some devotees who are just joining today, please go back to the video 6 and 7 and now watch that video. All right, what is Kanishta? Because I've gave a very lengthy explanation. What is Kanishta Adhikari? What is Madhyama Adhikari? And what is Uttama Adhikari? Then after that, then you just go to that Uttama Adhikari, the pure devotee, and how the pure devotee will look like. No, it doesn't matter how he looks, or doesn't matter from which family he's born, whether he's high caste, low caste, outcast, or whatever it is, right? Doesn't matter. So no matter what, he has to be respected, he has to be worshipped, and to see his external features is very offensive. Then after that, this morning we spoke about, okay, then after you identify the devotee, serve him. So now the another way is to how we can achieve perfection by the activity of devotional service. So what is the topmost? So now here Krishna, Rupa Goswami is telling all the extreme high. This is what the topmost. Everything that we study in Nectar of Instruction, it's all the topmost. This is the ultimate, right? So similarly, the ultimate service, devotional service, is to chant the holy name. And now we're going to study on, we're going to discuss on the ultimate place of pilgrimage. All right. So what is that place of pilgrimage and how to identify them? Okay. So today, okay. So today we're going to do 8 and 9. Tax 8 and tax 9. Okay. And tomorrow we're going to do 10 and 11, and that's all. We are done. All right. So 8 and 9 is not a long purport. All right. So, but we can combine it. Tax 8. Tan Nama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu smrityo kramena rasana manasi niyojya tishtan vraje tat anuragi jananugami kalam nayet akilam ityupadesha saram vaikuntajanito vara madhupuri tatrapi rasotsavat vrindaranyam udarapani ramanat tatrapi govardhanaha radha kundam ihapi gokula pate premamrita plavanat Guryat asyo virajato giritate sevam vivekina kaha. Tannama rupa charitadi sukirtananu smrityo kramena rasana manasi niyojya tishtan vraje tat anuragi jananugami kalam nyaye akilam ityupadesha saram vaikunta janito vara madhupuri trapi rashotsavat vrindaranyam udarapani ramanat tatrapi govardhana radha kundam ihapi gokulapate premarta plavanat kuryat asya virajyato giritate sevang vivekinakaha tannama rupa charitadi sukirtananu Svirtyo kramena rasana manasi niyojya Tishtan vrajetat anuragi jananugami Kalam nyayet akilam ityupadesha saram Vaikunta janito vara madhupuri tatrapi rashotsavat Vrindaranyam udarapani ramanat tatrapi govardhana Radha kundam ihapi gokulapate premamrta plavanat kuryat asya virajato giritate sevang vivekinakaha. All right, so this is the text. Now let's look at the translation. All right, so the translation for this 8 and 9. So now let's look at this is okay. Let me. Okay, you all can see the verse, huh? You all can see the this thing, right? Eight and 9. Okay. Now let's look at 8 and 9. So now what is Rupa Goswami is explaining here is he's saying, okay, he said the essence of all advice. So that means the essence. That means the ultimate essence. Okay, that means when we talk about essence means, so there are so many essence that he, so many advices is giving. But in text, it is speaking about the essence. All right. The essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time. Okay. We should utilize our one's full time 24 hours a day in nicely chanting and remembering, the Lord's divine name, transcendental form and qualities, and eternal pastime. So that means Rupa Goswami is telling, in essence, or in other words, okay, in conclusion, that we all should engage 24 hours a day, okay, 24 hours a day in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name. Okay, we should always remember the Lord's divine name and transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastime, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. Okay, in this way, one should reside in Vraja. And Prabhupada is, Rupa Goswami is telling, in this way, one should advise to stay in Vraja or Goloka Vrindavan Dham or Vrindavan in India, right? And serve Krishna under the guidance of a devotees. Okay, one should follow in the footsteps of Lord's beloved devotee who are deeply attached to his devotional service. Okay. Then in 9, he says, right, the holy place known as Mathura. Now, why Goloka Vrindavan? Okay. Now, what they call Rupa Goswami is identifying the place of pilgrimage. Right. The topmost is we have to remember Krishna 24 hours. We should engage our tongue and mind in that service. And of course, we have to take the guidance by a pure devotee, and we should serve Krishna in Goloka. Okay, in Vrindavan Dham. All right. Then in 9, Rupa Goswami, the holy place known as Madhura. Okay, Madhura is spiritually superior to Vaikunta. This is going to be a very interesting topic. So that means when we are all like so many people out there, they are looking for liberation. So now, after we study this nectar of instruction, heaven or Tapaloka and even up to Satyaloka, that means the place of Lord Brahma, it is no longer going to be very interesting. We don't even aspire. But now you see here, after this, we don't even aspire for Vaikunta. The Vaikunta where all the expansion Lord Vishnu is there. We don't even want Vaikunta. All right? Because we don't want to worship the Lord in Bhaya Bhakti, in the place where the awe and reverence. We are not. We want to serve Krishna with so much of friendship, in loving relationship, right? So here, Rupa Goswami is telling, the place Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikunta. All right? The transcendental world. Vaikunta means the transcendental world because the Lord appeared there. Because the Lord appeared in Mathura. Okay? But now, what is superior to Mathura? Madhurapuri. The superior to Madhurapuri is called the forest of Vrindavan. Okay? The forest of Vrindavan because Krishna Rasa Leela pastime happened there. I mean, Krishna danced with his gopis there. So beyond, I mean, say, Madhura is greater than Vaikunda. Okay. So Vrindavan, forest of Vrindavan is greater than Madhurapuri, because there was a place where there's lots of Rasa Leela pastime. And greater than forest of Vrindavan. What is greater than, superior to the forest of Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill. Why? Because it was raised by the divine finger of Sri Krishna. All right. All right. So it's raised by the divine hand of Sri Krishna, and also was the site of his various loving pastime, because he always liked to go there and had so much of pastime. So above, better than forest of Vrindavan, Govardhan Hill is much more superior. All right. But now, above all, Rupa Goswami is saying, the super excellent Sri Radha Kund. All right. Sri Radha Kund is a place where Radharani used to take bath. All right. It's a Kund means it's a pond, lake. The lake Radha. Radha Kund stands supreme. Okay. This place is called supreme because it is overflooded with the ambrosial nectarian prema of the Lord of Gokula, Sri Krishna. All right. So that's a place where Lord Krishna and Radharani had so much of beautiful, loving exchanges. Ambrosial. He had so much of beautiful exchanges. So therefore, that place is far more superior than any of these places, right? So then, where then? That means then the Prabhupada is asking, where then is the intelligent person who is unwilling to serve the divine Radha Kund, who is situated at the foothill of Govardhan Hill? All right. So now let's look at the purport. All right. So now let's look at text 8 purport. Okay. Now, Prabhupada is explaining, since the mind may be one's enemy or one's friend, okay, one has to train the mind to become his friend. Okay. That's what we have studied in Bhagavad Gita, right? They say, they say Krishna is warning. If you can control the mind, your mind is your best friend. If you cannot control your mind can be your worst enemy. All right. So since the mind may be, it can be either enemy or friend. All right. Therefore, we have to train our mind to become our friend. The Krishna conscious movement is especially meant for training the mind. All right. to be always engaged in Krishna's business. The mind contains hundreds and thousands of impression, right? So as you all experience that, the mind contains hundreds and thousands of impression. Sometimes we want to do this, sometimes we want to do that. And sometimes when we are doing something, there's a lot of impressions, okay? But only of this life, I mean, not only for this life, but also many, many lives of the past. These impressions sometimes come in contact with one another and produce contradictory picture. Sometimes the impressions will come and contact with one another. It also creates a lot of contradiction. In this way, the mind function can become dangerous for the conditioned soul. All right. In this way, the mind, this thing can become dangerous. Like what we have studied in Bhagavad Gita, in Gita again, we are saying a person who committing suicide. When a person commits suicide, actually what they kill, all right, they're killing the wrong thing. They're killing the external gross body, which got nothing to do with all the trouble, right? Say like, for instance, you are having a body ache, you cannot take it, you go and burn the car because the car is a vehicle, all right? Similarly, the body is a vehicle. Huh? So similarly, like, the car is used to travel from one place to another place. But now you're having a severe body ache, stomach ache, or some severe disease. You can't take it. You just pour petrol on the car and burn it. Why got such thing? It doesn't make sense. Yes or not? Similarly, when we are diseased, when we are suffering, when we are going through so much of traumatic life, but we are killing the wrong thing, the gross body. Where do actually the pain comes is from the subtle body, right? So there's only way to get rid of this is to practice how to curb that subtle body, how to control the subtle body, how to bring the subtle body under control. That is that what they call that is that things that we should understand, we should learn, not simply killing. So that's because why this thing happened, killing the body and all these things like committing suicide, is because of the mind. The mind says, you can't take it anymore, just kill it. Okay, right? So that's why I say sometimes when the thing comes, dangerous for a conditioned soul. Students of psychology are always aware. The students of psychology, Prabhupada is mentioning, are aware that mind various psychological changes. In Bhagavad Gita 8.6, it says, okay, in 8.6, okay, in 8.6, it's mentioned, okay, yang vapi smaran bhavam, tyajyante kalevaram, tang evaiti kaunteya sadatat bhava bhavitaha. Whatever state of being one remembers, all right, says, whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. All right. So like what we have explained this morning, that we are always getting as we desire. Nothing happened by coincidence. Nothing happened by a reward. Nothing is rewarded to you. Everything is according to your desire. Okay. So in 8.6, we understand. Krishna says here, whatever state, whatever things that you remember when you want to quit your body, you will go to that environment. You go to the state. All right. So without fail. So at the time of death, the mind and intelligence are the living entity create a subtle form of certain type of body. Can you imagine? Okay. The mind and intelligence of a living entity create the subtle form of a certain type of body for next life. If the mind suddenly thinks something not very congenial, one has to correspond taking the next life, taking birth in that next life. All right. When mind start to think the wrong thing, all right, one has to take a corresponding birth in next life. On the other hand, if one thinks of Krishna, if one can think of Krishna at the time of death, he can transfer to the spiritual world, Goloka, Vrindavan. The process of transmigration is very subtle. Therefore, Sri Rupa Goswami advises devotees to train their mind in order they will able to remember anything other than Krishna. All right. So that's why Rupa Goswami advising devotees. Let's train our mind, train their mind, not to think anything else other than Krishna. All right. Similarly, the tongue should be also trained to speak only Krishna and taste only Krishna prasadam. Huh? So Srila Rupa Goswami further advises, okay, not only the tongue, but Srila Rupa further advises, Tishtan Vraje, one should possibly live in Vrindavan or any part of Vraja Bhumi. All right. Because when you stay in Vrindavan or Vraja Bhumi, what they will do every day, they just fully in Krishna conscious. They got nothing else to speak or talk. They are 24 hours, they greet each other, Radhe, 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 Jai Radhe. And suddenly in one corner of the town, you see some people are dancing in ecstasy. Another corner, they are doing serving each other. You just see. So that's why staying in Vrindavan or any part of that Vrindavan, the Vrindavan area is called Vraja Bhumi. All right. If any of you will get a chance, if you have a chance to migrate or to settle down in Vrindavan, do not hesitate. Do not hesitate. That is something that's very rare. But for those who really not possible for migration, right? Like myself and all these, we got small children, school-going children and all these, we cannot settle down. It's not possible to do that. So what we do, we go into Vrajabhumi meditation. So I tell you what I do. All right. So what I do, I have this tirtha, I have this what they call I've got this what they call Radha Kun, Shama Kun, and Agasa Ganga and Vrindavan dust. Okay, I got this this thing. I've put in a different container, and I'm worshipping them every day, meditating, offering ghee lamb and all these to Radha Kun, Shama Kun, Agasa Ganga, and dust of Vrindavan. All right, so like that. Oh, when you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you can always go into meditation that you are in this. All right, because since the mind is very powerful, since we don't have the opportunity to live in Vrindavan or to settle in Vrajabhumi, but we can convert our house. That's why Prabhupada says, whenever and wherever the names of Krishna is chanted, that place turns into Vrindavan. Whenever there's a puja is performed, that place turns into Vrindavan. Whenever Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavatam, all these kind of things, whenever Tulasi Maharani is worshipped, that place become Vrindavan. Vrindaye Tulasi Deviyaye Priyaye Kesavaya Cha. Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavataye Namo Namaha. Vrindaye, who is Tulasi Deviyaye. So the one who superintendent, the one who controls Vrindavan, who is that superintendent of Vrindavan? Like the superintendent of this material world is Durga Devi, right? So who is the superintendent of Vrindavan? Tulasi Maharani. So try to cultivate Tulasi in your house. Try to keep Tulasi around you. Don't keep any other mundane flowers or mundane this thing which is so useless. Like sometimes I see people are planting something like hibiscus. No, not hibiscus. What they call? Bougainvillea. The flower is so useless. You can't use for anything. Right? They like to keep that. Anyway, if you're keeping, I'm just saying, my opinion. Use something. Keep something that's going to benefit that you can offer to Krishna, like what they call, like Pavalamali, or like jasmine. Huh? So like that. So anyway, so Tulasi, plant Tulasi in your house. Keep in few pots because the Tulasi, whenever you see, take it and put in a pot. Take it and put in the pot. Every morning when you go to chant, take one pot and keep it in your house. Look at her and start to chant. So when you just chant with her, in her association, because she is none other than Vrindavan. She's none other than Vrindaye, Tulasi Deviyaye, Priyaye Kesavaya Cha, Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi, Satyavataye Namo Namaha, Vrindaye Tulasi Devi. That means, oh, Mother Vrinda, who is Tulasi Maharani? Tulasi Maharani is Vrindavan. So when you go to worship Tulasi in your house with so much of this thing, and you are creating the environment of Vrindavan. But if you have an opportunity to stay in Vrindavan, do not hesitate, right? Do not hesitate. If you are retired, your children are grown up, you have got nothing else to do, just move to Vrindavan. That's what Prabhupada is saying here. So, or if not, keep this in your meditation. When you get the chance, do it. All right. So, should live in Vrindavan or any part of Vrajabhumi or the land of Vrindavan. It is supposed to be 84 krosha area. 84 krosha. That means what? 1 krosha equivalent to 2 miles. Okay, 1 krosha equal to 2 miles. So 84 means 164, right? 164 miles in circumference. When one makes Vrindavan his resident, he should take shelter of advanced devotee. So once you go and stay there, you're not going to simply stay there, but you have to take shelter. You have to be under a guide of an advanced devotee. In this way, one should always think of Krishna and his pastime. This is further elucidated by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. First this thing, 294. Krishnam smaran janang chasya prashtam nija samhitam tat tat katarataschaso kuryat vasam vraja sada. A devotee should always reside in transcendental realm of Vraja and always engage in Krishna's Smaran Janam, right? Chasya. So you always Vraja and always engage in Krishnam Smaran Janam Chasya Prashtam, the remembrance of Sri Krishna and his beloved associate. By following the footsteps of such associate and by entering under their eternal guidance, entering into their eternal guidance, one can acquire an intense desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because sometimes when we're going to think about Krishna 24 hours, maybe it's not possible in this life. First thing, we wake up in the morning, you chant. Then after that, you sing, Then after that, you have to do other chores. You have to look after your children. You have to send your children. You're going to work. Okay, in between, you see a lot of distraction. You can't think of Krishna 100%. But if you move to Vrindavan, you think about him 100%. So any given holiday, any time that you get a holiday, short holiday, long holiday, make a point. Make a point to go to Vrindavan. Right? Don't waste your time to go to any other place of pilgrimage. Okay, go to this place, go to that place, Like we were discussing with my wife this morning, if at all, if I get a chance to go to India, which plaza? She said she want to go to South India. I say, you want to go there? You go yourself. I'm not interested. Right? So have that intense desire. Because in Goloka, in Vrindavan, in Mayapur, or in Jagannath Puri, you can be totally immense in this devotional service. In Jagannath Puri, you are immense. Jagannath there, I think I told the story, right? The reason that how Jagannath came, all right? The Jagannath came to feed. So you go to Jagannath, you become immense in Prashadam. You eat to your glories. Then you go to Mayapur. You go to the place where Krishna prayed, right? When all the associates, you start to see the way all dance and so beautiful and this thing. Then you go to Vrindavan. It is going to be even more sublime, right? The place Krishna's Rasalila. Okay, the photo that you can see behind me, right? Behind me. Okay, that's the place that Rasalila, all the gopis are standing around and performing Rasalila with Krishna. So if you have a chance, if you get anything, anytime you have a holiday, make a point, right? Just you have 10 days holiday or 10 days break or somewhere, just make a point to go there and stay there for 6 days. Just go and stay there and engage in the service. No need to go around, see around, no need to go sightseeing, all that. Just go there, go into intense bhajan. Go there and chant 24 hours. Try to minimize your sleep because you go there not to sleep, but you go there for a full devotional service. Again, Srila Rupa Goswami mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, right? Okay, he mentioned there in 12295. Okay. What he said? Seva sadhaka rupena siddha rupena chatrahi tadbhavalipshuna karya praja lokanusharata. In this transcendental Raja, now he's mentioning, in the transcendental realm of Raja, of Rajadam, one should serve the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, with a feeling similar to that of his associate. We have to serve him in that mood. Okay, in that mood, in the feeling of his associate. And one should place himself under the direct guidance of a particular associate of Krishna and should follow his footsteps. So that means you go there, what do we need to do? We identify a devotee, identify what do you call? Some seniors and just go there and be guided by him. All right. This method is applicable both in the stage of sadhana and the practice actually while the stage of sadhana. In the stage of sadhana or spiritual practice, all right, executed while in the stage of bondage. That means still while you're in the body, you're doing sadhana bhakti. And also in the stage of sadhya or God realization. That means you advance. When one is Siddha Purusha or spiritually perfect soul. That means in other words, even you are starting or you become advanced, you still have that same attitude to serve the senior. You serve the Lord through some senior devotees. So that means once you go back home, back to Godhead, what do you need to do? You are under a manjari or you are under some devotees, the pure devotee, like you see the photos, you somehow or other you become. That's why we are known as Dasanudas. Dasanudas means we are servant of the Lord. Okay. We don't directly serve. There's a hierarchy. So similarly, when you go to Goloka, when you go to Vrindavan, India, the same thing. We need to surrender to someone. All right. So if you're a ladies, you want to go there. If you want to assistant, do tell me. I've got a very close. I'm quite close with this some devotees, especially from VIHE, Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education. VIHE. There's some Matajis. All right. So I can recommend to you. And if you want to also with some devotees, Prabhus, if you want help, you also can receive. You need to have some kind of reference. Once you go there, they tell you what to do, and from there you start to expand, right? And of course, you need to stay with ISKCON. Don't stay anywhere else because sometimes we can't tolerate the food and a lot of things, right? But of course, all that we are not bothered. So the most important, what are we going to do there, right? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has commented as follows upon this verse. He commented on this verse. One who has not yet developed Krishna conscious, all right? Okay. One who has not yet developed interest in Krishna consciousness, if he does not develop, should give up all material motives and train his mind by following the progressive regulative principle. Okay. Namely, chanting and remembering Krishna and his name, form, qualities, pastime, and so forth. In this way, after developing the taste of such thing, one should try to live in Vrindavan and pass his time constantly remembering Krishna's name, fame, pastime, qualities under the direction and protection of expert devotees. This is the sum and substance of all instruction regarding the cultivation of devotional service. This is the sum and substance of all instruction. If something instruction. So sometimes, like say, for instance, when a person is about to leave his body, okay. So sometimes they go and get for a second opinion, third opinion, all these kind of things to go and look for a better doctor. Don't waste time. When the person have already said that that's very hard for him to make it, immediately go to Vrindavan and start to engage in devotional service in Vrindavan and like that. So, but once we are old, okay, don't get attracted and attached to the children and the this thing. Because according to our culture, according to that Sastra, it says, first until 25, we are a brahmachari. After 25 to 55, we are grihastha. Okay, now, of course, with modernization, 55, we can be a grihastha maybe until 60 or 65. All right. So after that, you have to accept vanaprastha, retired life. Once you accept retired life, means what you should do? You should give up everything. The children know how to take care of their children. We don't need to be like Kepochi. Sometimes we as a parent, we think, oh, without me, nothing will work out. Oh, my son or my daughter doesn't know how to bring up their children. They know. All right. As how you knew, like that, they will know. They will know how to do parenting. We don't need to become a busybody. Try to enter into their life and try to protect them. All right. Because we have got this very precious human body. So once the time comes up, once we have children has grown up, we have to give them up. We have to let them live according to their this thing. All right. So we have to, whatever property or whatever things that you should do, you just push it aside and pack your stuff and go back to vanaprastha. So the vanaprastha is, of course, sannyas is not recommended. Okay. So the vanaprastha is both husband and wife have to go and settle down in Vrindavan or Mayapur. Okay, there's a place of retirement. So all that elderly devotees will go and settle, and they finish up their final moment of their life in full Krishna consciousness. It is very, very important. It is not that we're going to sit and serve our children and grandchildren forever. Okay, it's not a very conducive idea. And of course, it's total waste because we got a precious body and we are individual soul. So sometimes when we leave our body also, we are not sure that our children are going to do Shraddha ceremony for us. They're not going to do this Devasam and all this properly. So we are all going to suffer. In previous birth, I had a different set of parents, different set of spouse, and different sets of children. And this birth, I got a different sets of parents. Like that, in the future birth, I'm also going to have a different set of parents, different set of spouse, and different sets of children. So we just going on changing them, right? So from one place to one place, I'm giving a different new kind of environment. Okay. So it's not worth. So we have to remember. So we have to dedicate our life for our own improvement. Enough. The children can look after themselves. So we have to think of serious retirement. Okay. So the neophyte stage. So the neophyte stage one should always engage in hearing Krishna Katha. Initially, when a neophyte means early stage, we should engage in hearing Krishna Katha. This is called Shravana Das, the stage of hearing. By constantly hearing a transcendental holy name of Krishna and hearing of his transcendental form of qualities and pastimes, one can attain the stage of acceptance called Varana Dasa. All right. So that means hearing his transcendental form, qualities, and pastime, one can attain the stage of acceptance. That means he could accept. Yes, now I understand. So I understand that Krishna is the supreme personality. So now we have come to the called, it's called Varana Dasha. Then, when one attains this stage, he becomes attached to hearing Krishna Katha. He becomes so more attached. He say, I want to hear more. I can't stay. I can't like not to hear. I want more. So when one is able to chant in ecstasy, okay. So when one is able to chant in ecstasy, he attains to the stage of Smarana Vashta. Samarana Vashta. Smarana. All right. That means Smaran means the stage of remembering. All right. So then remembering means recollection, absorption, meditation, and constant remembrance. And trance are the 5 items of progress in Krishna Smaran. That means recollection. Suddenly we can recollect. All right. When suddenly we talk about someone, say, yes, I remember everything. And second is absorb. You totally fully absorb in the pastimes of Krishna. And now and after that, you can able to meditate. You can think and replay. When you chant, you just think about how Krishna and Radha should be like, dancing. How the gopi should be dancing along, right? So like that. And constant remembrance. You have to always remember. Then, and after that, you are in trance. Trance means it's not like the trance we are talking about, like in Taipusam. The trance means you're fully absorbed. You're really into it. All right? That means absorbed. At first, remembrance of Krishna may be interrupted. Okay, now it's very normal. So sometimes you say, like today, this morning also, some Prabhu says, sometimes remembrance of Krishna may be interrupted at interval. Okay, it can be interrupted, or suddenly you may forget. When you chant, the beats can fall down. Sometimes when you're chanting time, you feel your phone is ringing. Your phone is not ringing. Say, sometimes when you put our phone in a silent mode, right? We always do like that. But you put a phone away. Oh, you're chanting suddenly. Why my phone is ringing? I don't know. But you go there, the phone is not ringing. So it's very normal to be interrupted at interval. But later, remembrance proceeds uninterrupted. But as long as we go on training our mind, this thing can proceed uninterrupted. When remembrance is uninterrupted, it becomes concentrated and is called meditation. All right. So when the remembrance becomes uninterrupted, it becomes concentrated and is called meditation. So when meditation expands and become constant, so when the meditation becomes expand and it's constantly you can do that, it's called Anushmriti. By uninterrupted, unceasing Anushmriti. That means what? By uninterrupted and unceasing Anushmriti. Uninterrupted and unceasing. That means it doesn't like reduce. Okay. One enters into the level of Samadhi or the spiritual trance. This Samadhi is not, we are talking about the death, right? Sometimes we say, oh, Samadhi means died. No, this Samadhi we are talking about trance. You're fully absorbed, okay, in that thing. So after Smaran Das or Samadhi has fully developed, the soul comes to understanding its original constitutional position. You know what? That's when you start to understand who are you. Do you all want to find out who are you? Do you all really want to know? Who are you in this spiritual world? What is your what is your your personal, your personality? What is your original self? Okay. So what is your service with Krishna? Okay. Swarupa. How you want to know? You will know only this. You will come to level of understanding yourself. Okay. What is my position? At that time, he can perfectly and clearly understand his eternal relationship with Krishna. All right. So now then you know what is my relationship. You understand. Like how Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. Okay. Like that. What is your position? Don't speculate. Okay. I think I'm one of these Manjari. I think I'm one of these. No. Don't speculate. You will know. After you get to know, you can go back. Don't worry. All right. But if you know this quickly, it's called Sampatti Das or the perfection of life. Okay. So Chaitanya Charitamrita advises those who are neophyte to give up all kind of motivated desire. So that means what Chaitanya Charitamrita is saying, all those who are starting your devotional service, starting new, give up all your material motivated. Give up all motivated desires, all the desires that motivate, give up, and simply engage in regulative principle. Okay. All right. So what he says, simply engage in the regulative devotional service, the devotion which is regulated of the Lord according to the direction of scripture. All right. In this way, a neophyte can gradually develop attachment for Krishna's name, fame, form, qualities, and so forth. So that means when we started, all right, we are not asking you to immediately give up all it because you can't do that also. Okay, please come and commit yourself. Come to every Sunday, come to program at least once a week. Come and commit yourself. All right, come a bit early, try to do some service, and maybe stay back a bit late and try to finish up some service. Okay, because you are simply serving the Lord. You are not serving any other people. All the people gathered there to serve the Lord. We come there, we come to the house of the Lord, we cook and offer to the Lord. Then after that, we all sit in congregation. We relish the prasadam. We honor the prasadam. After we honor the prasadam, with full satisfaction, with gratitude, we thank the Lord. Then we leave, we clean up the place and go. Right? Like sometimes I see in Sundays, I mean, it's quite common in all the centers. After Sunday program, all chabulari. Right? After eat, pew, all gone. So try to stay back and try to do something. All right? We are not asking you to be artificially go down and wash. Try to do something within your capacity. All right? But if I'm within the capacity means don't underestimate, don't undermine it. Oh, my capacity is this much. Try to maximize. What is your maximum capacity you can do? Try to serve Krishna in that way. All right? Oh, my capacity, maybe I just pick some rubbish here and there. No. If your capacity is even more, try to do that. All right? So that is how we create these kind of things. And okay, and when we start to serve the Lord, okay, then we gradual development. Like for instance, when we first started to join Hare Krishna a long time ago, the first service that we give to the newcomer is washing the pot. We all start to wash the pot. I was wondering when I first came, said, Prabhu, can you come and wash the pot at the back? I said, what? I don't even wash the pot in my house. Now ask me to wash the pot. I say, anyway, okay, this is temple. So try to wash the pot. So they said, wash the pot. Why? There's a thing they asked to wash the pot first. Because when you wash the pot, you are actually cleaning your heart. Okay? Washing the pot means you're washing your heart. It's not something very offending. Okay? Washing the pot is the best service. Sometimes when you go to SGM KL, in KL, you won't even get a chance to do that. I'm not sure about now, but when I was there sometime back, when I go there, what are you doing here, Prabhu? No, I just want to see the kitchen. No, are you trying to wash the pot? I said, no, don't even think about it. I said, think about what? So that means the washing pot is their service. They say, don't even think about it. Entering the kitchen and like that. All right. So when one has developed such attachment, he has spontaneous serve of the Lord Krishna's lotus feet. He can spontaneously serve the lotus feet of Krishna even without following the regulative principle. Okay, now is the time. That's the time because you're so used. There's no such thing regulative principle already. All right. This stage is called Raga Bhakti. Raga Bhakti means it's spontaneous. All right. Spontaneous. Okay. Of devotional service in spontaneous love. At that stage of devotee can follow in the footstep of one eternal associate with Krishna in Vrindavan. Right. So this is what is Raga, Raga Nuga, Raga Atmika. Okay. Prakya, Madhurya. All these things we study in Nectar of Devotion. Okay. A lot of details are there. This is called Raga Nuga Bhakti. So when we are thinking about serving the Krishna in this thing in Vrindavan, it is called Raga Nuga Bhakti. So Raga Nuga Bhakti or spontaneous devotional service can be executed in Shantaras. All right. When one aspires to be like Krishna's cow, stick, flute, or flute in the hand of the Lord, or the flower around Krishna's neck. Okay. That means Shantaras means you always have the desire. You want to be the flute. You want to be the garland around his neck. Okay. You want to be something, right? So we may think, hey, I want to be garland because you must understand in Goloka Vrindavan, everything is conscious. The garland is there. Even the footwear, even the what they call what do you call, stick or flute, everything is alive. It is conscious. It's not like in this world, everything is matter. Like this mic is useless. It's just a matter. But in Goloka, this is got life. Everything got life. Even the soil, everything. Right? So when you want to be part of the thing that Krishna is going to use, this is called as Shanta Rasa. Okay, if you got a book, please underline Shanta Rasa. When one aspires to be like Krishna's cows, stick or flute in the hand, right? Or the flowers around his neck. So the second ras is Dashya Ras. Dashya Ras means for one follow the footstep of the servant of like Chitralekha, right? Patraka and Raktaka. Who's Chitraka, Patraka, Raktaka? They are all the gopis, all right? Then, if you think you want to be like a friend, you want to have a friendly, what they call, relationship with Krishna, we call Sakya Ras. Sakya. That means you become friend like Baladev, Sridham, Sudama. And in Vatsalya Rasa, Vatsalya, character like parental. Okay. You become like Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yasoda. I mean, this is called Vatsalya means it's like parental affection. Okay. Now, and in Madhurya Ras, if you think you want to go into Madhurya characterized in the conjugal love, right? That can become like Srimati Radharani and a lady friends. Okay. So conjugal love means you are in a loving relationship. That means, in other words, romantic, what they call, relationship. Okay. You will be in a very romantic, like full moon dancing with him under the full moon, like that. So how you can be like Srimati Radharani or her lady friends such as Lalita and her serving maid like Manjaris like Rupa and Rati. Of course, you cannot be Radharani, you cannot be Manjari, but you can be their maid servant. So you can be part of that preparation and for Radha and Krishna to have a romantic night, moonlight dinner, moonlight sonata, something like that, right? So this is essence of all instruction of devotion. So therefore, Prabhupada is saying, this is the essence of all instruction in the matter of devotional service. Okay, this is a very straightforward. So I hope you understand. Now we go to text 9. So now, shall we take a short break? Now it's 7:56. We just take 2-3 minutes, right? So we just take a just take 2 minutes, 3 minutes break. Then we're going to continue with our next this thing. Also going to take something like around 45 minutes for discussion, right? So take a short break. Hare Krishna. All right. So let's continue. All right. So now let's look at text 9. Okay. So now here, Rupa Goswami is explaining. All right. He's explaining very nicely. The spiritual world is 3/4 of the total creation by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The spiritual world is a 3/4 of the total creation. All right. 3/4 of the total creation of this material, of the total creation, 3/4. And it's just, and it is the most, what they call, exalted region. Okay, now it's telling. So it's the most exalted region in spiritual world. 3/4 is total this thing, and 1/4 is, of course, the material creation. All right. So he said it is the most exalted region. So beautiful. The spiritual world is naturally superior to the material world. All right. So the spiritual world is naturally superior to the material world. But now, let me get the highlighter. This is going to be very interesting. But now, but however, Prabhupada says, Mathura at the adjoining areas, although appearing in the material world, all right, now again, Madhura and the adjoining area. That means, what is adjoining area? Can anyone tell me? What does it mean by adjoining area? Anyone? No. Vrajabhumi. Vrajabhumi means that Madhura and the adjoining Vrajabhumi, right? Area, all right, appearing, even it's appear in the material world, is considered superior to the spiritual world. Can you see that? Even it is in material world in India, in the world on earth, right? But it is superior to the spiritual world because the Supreme Personality of God in himself appeared at Mathura, because the Godhead appeared in Mathura. Okay. Is there anything that we can think of? If you think you want to go to spiritual world, it is just around 3.5 hours away from Malaysia. Just fly to Delhi. From Delhi, another, I don't know, maybe few hours, 3 hours taxi ride, and you go to spiritual world, right? So the interior forests of Vrindavan are considered, the interior forest considered superior to Mathura. Mathura itself is in the earth, but it's called spiritual world because the place where Lord Krishna was born. But now above Mathura is forest of Vrindavan. The Vrindavan forest is so wonderful because the presence of the 12 forests, all right? Superior because the brand, okay, Dvadasa Vana. So what are the name of the forest? Sometimes remembering this name is very auspicious, all right? And is it recording? Okay, yes. So try to underline all these names and try to meditate on that. So the presence of 12 forests, Dvadasa Vana. Vana means forest, such as Talavana, Madhuvana, and Bahulavana, which is the famous for various pastimes of the Lord. This place is famous for various pastime. Okay, various pastime of the Lord. Thus, the interior Vrindavan forest is considered superior to Madhura. Therefore, the interior is called superior, but superior to this forest, superior to these forests of, that means superior to Talavana, Madhuvana, and what they call Bahulavana. Please go and check it out. What are the 12 forest name? All right, try to memorize it. It's very auspicious. All right. So now, even you can check out in the database. I think it's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Anyway, but superior to this is the place called Divine Govardhan Hill. Why? Because Krishna lifted the hill like an umbrella. He lifted Govardhan Hill like an umbrella, raising it with his lotus-like beautiful hand to protect his associate. Because he wanted to protect his devotees, the denizens of Vraja, from the torrential rain sent by angry Indra, right? The king of demigods. That's why we are celebrating after Diwali, after Deepavali, we celebrate Govardhan Puja. Very, very important. Govardhan Puja is one of the most important, what they call, celebration. Why? Even, okay, it's giving, even don't worry about the spiritual benefit. If you worship Govardhan, if you go around Govardhan, you will never meet any poisonous animal like snake, scorpion. All these kind of dangerous animal will never appear in front of you. If you think you got phobia for snake and scorpion and all these things, you better go around Govardhan Puja. The next Govardhan Puja is 2 days after Deepavali. Make sure you go and join. All right. So like that. So Govardhan. So Govardhan, Indra was very angry. He sent this thing. So Krishna lifted Govardhan hill and kept it like umbrella. It is also at Govardhan hill, also at this Govardhan hill, that Krishna tends the cow and his cowherd friends, with his cowherd friends. Okay. The Govardhan hill is the place, his favorite place, because he used to bring all his cows to go there and rear the cows. And also he had his rendezvous with his most beloved Srimati Radharani. Okay. What does rendezvous means? Rendezvous means the romantic exchange. Okay. The romantic exchange, he had it there. You know, sometimes when you see like young couples, they like to go near the hills and everything. So just the same thing happened, Krishna and Radha. Okay. He had this romantic this thing and engage in loving pastimes with her. All right. But above all, at the foothill of Govardhan is called Radha Kund. Right? The place at foothill, there's a place we call Radha Kund. Okay. There's a place, the foothill, okay, Radha Kund, or the lake called Radha, the lake of Radha. It is at the foothill of Govardhan. is superior to all because there is the love of Krishna overflows. Okay, because Krishna, okay, there's a pastime. Krishna will kill the bull demon, and Radharani will be very angry. And she said, "How can you kill a cow?" Right? And he said, "I didn't kill a cow, I kill a bull." Yeah, but how can you kill the bull? But Krishna says that's a demon. Doesn't matter, but it comes in the form of bull. You can never kill that bull. You can never kill that bull. It's very sinful. No, like loving relation. So they say, okay, never mind. Just for that sake, I will create one lake. So therefore, he created this lake called Shama Kund. He make that lake, and after that, he said, now I'm going to take bath in that lake. All right, at least, all right, to first he create Agasa Ganga. Right, he take a bath. Hey, no, not enough. Then after that, he create this Shama Kund. He take his bath. So after take his bath, in the Shama Kund says as atonement. All right, and Radharani says, no, I'm still not happy with you. Okay. Then after he saw the thing, then Radharani start to make her own lake. When he start to make her own lake, and after that, what happened? When she start to create her own lake, right? Then after that, she'll go and take a bath, and Krishna will jump in, right? And jump in and go near the Radha, and they had a very beautiful relationship, very beautiful pastime. So that's why he says, but after that, after all the pastime, Radharani says, I love your Shama Kund. No, he said, no, your Radha Kund, your lake is far superior. The place that I express all my love was keep overflowing. Therefore, he prefer that Radha Kund. Okay. So advanced devotee prefer to recite Radha Kund because this place is site of many memories of the eternal loving affairs of Sri Krishna and Radharani. They call Rati Vilas. Okay, Rati Vilas. So as we go on, as you start to improve in your sadhana, right? So if you start to, because now you may not understand, but if you go into sadhana, you study, chant more rounds. At one moment, all these studies, when we go, we get an opportunity. If Radharani allows us to understand her pastime, confidential pastime, I'm telling you, it is unbelievable. All right. It is so beautiful pastime. All right. So anyway, so Radha Kund is the place where Krishna loved the most. Okay. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila is stated when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first visited the area. When he first visited this area, Vrajabhumi, he could not at the first hand to locate Radha Kund. Radha Kund seems to be disappeared. That means that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually searching for the exact location of Radha Kund. Finally, he found the holy spot, and there was a small pond there. He took his bath in that small pond and told his devotees that this is actually Radha Kund was situated. Later, the pond was excavated. Lord Chaitanya devotee headed by the 6 Goswamis, such as Rupa and Raghunath. Presently, there is a large lake known as Radha Kund there. Sri Rupa Goswami has given much stress to Radha Kund because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desired to find it. Who then would give up the Radha Kund and try to reside elsewhere? No person with transcendental intelligence would do so. The importance of Radha Kund, however, cannot be realized by any other Vaishnava Sampradaya. We must remember this. The glories of Radha Kund can never find from any other Vaishnava Sampradaya. When you look at Sri Vaishnava, when you look at what they call Kumara Sampradaya, when you look at when they call Rudra Sampradaya, they don't know what is Radha Kund. It's only by Gaudiya, right? So there's once Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, the spiritual master of our Prabhupada, right? He and his disciples were going around circumambulating the Radha Kund. Going around, right? So when he was going around, the disciple asked, why not we go around the Shama Kund? Because Radha Kund, Shama Kund side by side. But what he do? He only go around Radha Kund. The devotee asked, why not just beside? Why not we just go straight and circumambulate Shama Kund along together? And that's when what they call Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said this. It's also mentioned here in their magazine called Tosani. All right, there's a Gaudiya Math magazine by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. In his magazine, it's mentioned it is mentioned what he said. He said, please listen to this very clearly. Just give me a second. When Gopakumar was sent to Golok, when we want to go to Goloka Vrindavan, right? But somehow or other, through invitation, he ended up in Vaikuntha Loka. So he went there, he saw that Lord Narayana is standing, and everybody started offering prayers. Right? Then he just went to them and say, hey, all right, Krishna, where's your flutes? Where's your cows? Where's your girlfriend? Why you look different? So you say that. Then suddenly Lord Narayana smiled, but the devotees around him were very offended. He said, no, you cannot talk like that to the Lord. Then he started to realize he's like awe and reverence. I said, no. Then he came out. He said, he doesn't want. He came out. Then he came back to the material world. Then after that, he went back to Goloka Vrindavan. So to achieve Goloka Vrindavan, it is the highest achievement a person can think of. So remember, what is Gaudiya Vaishnava is all about. So that is that confidential teaching of this nectar of devotion. Okay. Then, right. So that's why he says, who then would give up? All right. Radha Kun and try to stay somewhere else. All right. No person with transcendental intelligence, Prabhupada is explaining, no person with transcendental intelligence, that means the proper intelligence, would do so. The importance of Radha Kun, however, cannot realized by other Vaishnava Sampradaya, nor can person uninterested in devotional service of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I mean, those who are not interested in the devotional service of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understand the spiritual importance and divine nature of Radha Kun. Thus, Radha Kun is mainly worshipped by Gaudiya Vaishnava, the follower of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So with that, we end the session of 9 and 10. So tomorrow is going to be 10, and after that, the finally 11, right? So with that, we end the session that we sing. So now, when you look at, can we take a bath in Radha Kund? Okay, the next chapter we are talking about the advantage of taking bath in Radha Kund. But anyway, since we have finished early here, we just can have a short discussion. So Radha Kund is something that not everyone is allowed. Okay, according to Prabhupada, he said that when we go to Vrindavan, we do not climb the Govardhan hill. We don't go on the Govardhan hill because we are not very pure enough. That means stepping on, because Govardhan is Krishna himself. Right? That's number one. Number two is, when we go to Radha Kund, we don't straightaway take a dip. We don't jump into the water. So what it Prabhupada says, take the water and 3 drop on your forehead, on your head. Tuck, tuck, tuck. 3 drop on your head is considered that you have taken a bath. Okay. So what we usually do in Radha Kund, we go take our chanting beads and we start to submerge the beads. We start to sanctify. We start to make our beads purify, or we make our beads more energetic. Because I see that people, I mean, I've not been to Radha Kund, but I've seen people there, they'd like to take the beads and put into the water. All right. But you are only allowed to go into the water during Bahulastami. The Bahulastami is the day where the appearance day of Radha Kund. If you check your calendar and if you have that capability and capacity, the next Bahula Astami, try to be there, because on that day, everyone is allowed to jump into Radha Kund or take a bath in Radha Kund. I have seen in a video that all be standing, they'll be waiting for Radha Kund. Once the Muhurta, Radha Kund Muhurta, I mean Bahula Astami Muhurta starts, everybody will jump into the water. At midnight, can you imagine? You know, at midnight, they all be jumping and taking a dip. Even if a person can able to take a dip even once, they achieve the highest perfection. Okay. So if you have Tirtha, if you have that waters from Radha Kund, Shama Kund, and some Vrindavan dust, put it in a nice container, put it on your altar and start to worship it. Right? That's what I'm start doing it. And I can see a big difference. That means I start to feel that I'm in Vrindavan mode. Bhakti is beautiful, really beautiful. Okay. When you start to apply, when you start to practice, it looks like it's amazing feeling. And you are all so fortunate. Don't miss the boat. Don't miss the boat. Okay. You are chanting, chant your rounds. make your standard 16 rounds minimum, no matter what. Even no matter what, it has to be your mandatory act. Like how in the morning you have to take your breakfast or you have to take your bath. For some, morning bath is important no matter what. Right? Like that, chanting your 16 rounds is a must. All right. So chant your rounds, go on chanting, use your beats. If you can't do the beats, then you can use your japa. Like, okay, now I like to share about the story about Itigash. We can see the boy there. Itigash Narayanan Baradan. He's here in the group, right? If you can just see.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So
Hare
let me
Krishna, Prabhu.
Haribol, how are you?
Long time no see you.
Another?
Meeting sorry.
Yeah. So talking about this Itigash Narayanan, can I speak about you, Itigash?
Yes, Prabhu, no problem.
Itigash was suddenly he had with a massive stroke, right? He had a massive stroke and he went into coma, and he was bedridden for so many months, right? Bedridden means he became like unconscious. He went into coma.
8 months.
8 months. All right. He was 8 months under coma. Then after that coma and all these things, then some or other suddenly he woke up. Suddenly got up. So the doctor says that he had a very slim chance, and the mother struggles. The mother struggles. They had a terrible time. Some or other, he just got up. All right. But after he got up, he couldn't move. Okay. Then after that, he was kept on a wheelchair. Okay, on the wheelchair. And after that, I think you have attended my Gita Gyan, right? That's when he started to chant. Yes or not?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So he joined the Gita Gyan, and so I said that you all have to start chanting. Then what happened? He became so excited with chanting because of disability, he couldn't chant using his japa mala. So he used a clicker. So he started to chant 10 rounds, 16 rounds. Then eventually he started to chant 20 rounds, 30 rounds. And the highest he went, how many rounds? 100.
108.
He went up to 108 rounds, right? So he go on chanting from morning till evening. He was chanting and chanting 108 rounds. Can you imagine? But he used a clicker because he was so disabled, he couldn't use that japa mala. He was chanting and chanting and chanting. Then suddenly he started to get some strength. He started to get up and start to walk. That means we remember during in our class, in our IPO, we have some program. So suddenly he will start to, when you have a kirtan, you're so disabled, he has to be in a wheelchair. Suddenly he will jump out from the wheelchair and he's want to dance. We all have to hold him, right? We all have to hold him. So we all have to hold him and everything. Then when we hold him, he'll be like jumping. I say, hey, relax, relax, relax. Then some or other he got up. Then some or other he could able to walk with the what they call, with the tongkat, this thing. Then slowly, then he started walking. He used to go, but he was chanting and chanting and chanting. So Itigash Narayanan Baradan is one of that story. All right. His body was healed by chanting the holy name of the Lord. So did the mantra heal him? No. Because that's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. You just surrender unto me, serve me with all your heart and might. I will preserve what you have and I supply what you lack. And today, Itigash could able to walk, and he is very independent. Sometimes he even can take a grab and travel. And he also involved in as an MLM business. He's involved in MV business. So he's involved in that business and he's active. Now, Itigash, unmute yourself.
Yes, Prabhu.
Last time, do any one of you remember Itigash when he come for a class? He couldn't even talk. Now, he could even chant the mantra. First time when he come, when we say Dharma, he couldn't even say that Sanskrit. Now, his word became clear and everything's clear up. So chanting of the holy name of the Lord, it's not an ordinary thing. Go on chanting. Krishna knows what to give you. Right? Don't think, oh, I'm not getting the taste. Or don't think, oh, will I get the taste? Will I go back home back to God? Don't worry about all that. If you are sincere enough, Krishna will start to show his miracle to you. But when he starts to show the miracle to you,
Prabhu,
yes,
normally me and Mama go to hospital. the bus until arrive the hospital chanting.
What is that?
Normally we went to the hospital or sometimes in town or like to go KL, the train chanting. To Dabamade and chanting. Normally when we go to hospital, we will always study the bus until arrive the hospital.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. So this chanting is not, of course, that we don't aspire, but Krishna will simply supply. Okay. So take this chanting very seriously. Chant every day. Now you all are here. Chant your 16 rounds. Try your best. Chant your 16 rounds. Right. And those who are listening on, those who are going to listen this talk on Facebook, on YouTube, remember, nothing other than chanting. When you are practicing Hare Krishna, when you are in ISKCON, when you are practicing devotee, there's no other things that you can think of. Nothing actually matters. If you don't chant, you don't get the full benefit of what you potentially can receive. What is that is your right. You will never receive if you don't chant your rounds. 16 rounds is a total minimum, right? Try and see. Try your 16 rounds and try it for 3 days. Right? Try to 53 days. The 4th days always onwards, you will be automatic. You'll somehow or other get addicted to it. Whether you get the taste, whether you don't get the taste, doesn't matter. Chant Hare Krishna and be very blissful. With that, we end the session here. Thank you so much. And today and tomorrow, we meet around this time because tomorrow morning we have a Sunday program in ISKCON Ipoh. Then evening around 7 onwards, we do our 10 and 11, the final text. Monday, there's no class because my daughter is having the final SPM biology. So we will continue either on Tuesday or Wednesday. So meanwhile, before that, we will discuss in the group whether we're just going to start off with the next book or we want to start with Bhakti Aloka. Because previously they said of Bhakti Aloka, maybe I'll just do a one-day introduction of Bhakti Aloka. What is Bhakti Aloka? Of course, I've shared with all that the book with you. I hope that you have printed out and keep it with you. And we're just going to read through the book, the further explanation on text 2, the don'ts. What are the don'ts that you should do on Nectar of Instruction? All right. Till then, have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. See you again. Vancha kalpatarubhescha kripa sindhubhyevacha paditanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavi Bhayo Namo Namah. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Gurudev, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Have a nice day. Hare Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.